guys, today we are going to be doing a swatch party, which I haven't done in quite some time, but I did get a couple of requests when I showed these in one of my other videos to do a swatch party with these. So these are the iridescent chameleons from Terra Cosmetics. As you can see, they all look white in the pan, and that is why I'm so excited to swatch them with you guys, because these are beautiful shadows. The thing about these is that they are quite expensive. They are $17 a pop, but you can buy the bundle, which I did on Black Friday. I got quite a big discount on it, but the bundle now will cost you $221, I'm pretty sure. Not sure if that is like a big discount or not, but just wanted to let you know like what the pricing is. And like I said, that's kind of why I wanted to swatch these for you, because they are quite expensive and I don't think that you need all of them. So I want to kind of show you what all of these look like, and you can decide if, you know, this is something for you. I do think that these would add something really, really nice to basically everyone's collection, because these aren't the kind of shadows that are in palettes these days. I feel like it's going to come, but as of this moment, there's not a lot of palettes that have like these iridescent shadows in it, and these make for the most beautiful inner corner highlights. And I think the quality of all of these are amazing. I've used them a lot. I've used them on my face as well. They make for really nice highlighters. So I think we should just go ahead and get into swatching them, because I am excited to swatch them all out. I haven't actually swatched them like all next to each other myself yet. I've just kind of used them. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. These are in no particular order. I just have them in this palette because that's kind of how I put them in when I first got them. So we're just gonna go ahead and start. And I am wearing nails that are way too long for this. I usually don't wear nails that are this long. I bought them and then I kept putting off wearing them because like I know they're so long that I'm just going to be annoyed. And now that I'm wearing them, I'm so annoyed, but they're beautiful still. So let's go ahead and start with this one. This one is called Zero Gravity. So they all feel kind of different to the touch. I would say this is kind of a dry formula. You can see here, I definitely picked up a little bit too much, so it's kind of chunky, but this has a blue shift to it. So I'm gonna try to be able to squeeze all of these on my hand. These are so beautiful. On my arm, I mean, so we can really see them all next to each other, but you can really see that purple to blue shift in it. I'm not sure like how well it's coming across on camera. I will show you like better close-up swatches when we're done, but this is so beautiful. This would make for the most perfect lavender highlighter. Next up is one of my absolute favorites. This one is in the shade Phoenix. Look at this. Do you guys remember when I did a swatch party with my Touch of Glam shadows? I will link that in the corner, but I swatched a shadow called The Second, and honestly, this one reminds me a little bit of that shadow because it is, look at that intensity. It is so pretty, like holy cow. I can't even really explain to you like all the shifts that's going on in this. I see red, I see green, I see yellow. Oh, it's just so pretty. Like you can probably see just how metallic that is compared to the other one. So all of these are quite different, and that's kind of like why I like them so much, but it's also really hard to know just from looking at them in the pan like what they're going to look like. So it's a surprise every time I swatch them. Next up, we have the shade here called Space Baby, and you probably guessed it, but this definitely has a little bit of a blue shift to it. So you can see on my finger, it's like a blue to green to purple or something like that. It is so hard to explain like how much is really going on in these shadows. This is more of like the same formula as the top one. Is a little bit more of a sheer formula, whereas the second one is a little bit more intense and metallic. Oh, this looks so pretty though. Like you could definitely build these up to be very nice and opaque and used over some kind of a glitter primer. These can absolutely be used as lid shades. I prefer using them as inner corner shades or just face highlighters because they're so pretty. So this is definitely a little bit more green than it is blue, but I also see pink when I see it from the side. So super, super unique. I think that the formula on all of these are super nice. Next up, this is the shade called Light Gear. I'm honestly not sure if I have used this one yet. Ooh, that is so pretty. It's like a grayish gold green. I don't know. Let's go ahead and give it a swatch. Me trying to explain colors. It's not, I should not be doing this. That is really, really pretty. This one again is a little bit more of a opaque formula and a little bit more metallic, but holy cow, look at that. I hope that I'm able to get the lighting to look good in my swatching, like when I'm editing, because right now when I look in the monitor, these are looking very light, but hopefully I'll be able to like turn on the brightness a little bit so you can really see. But this one has a very, very strong kind of lime green to blue shift to it, like little glitter particles in it. They're not glitters, obviously, but they're very, very sparkly. So pretty. Next shade here is called Astral. Let's see what this one looks like. So this is, ooh, that is so pretty. This has a very strong pink shift to it. Let's see how it looks swatched out. So a little bit more subtle, I would say, than some of these other ones. Can definitely be built up. This would be a really, really nice face highlighter. I feel like this one would be quite similar to the new multi-chrome highlighter from Kaleidos, but just a little bit more subtle. Still very, very pretty shadow, but I wouldn't say that this one is like one of my favorites out of the bunch, but it's still, you know, really, really nice. Moving on to the second row here, we have the next shade called Time Shift, which again, it's always a surprise when I swatch these. That looks very pretty. It has kind of a turquoise shift to it. Let's see what it looks like swatched out. Yeah, it doesn't look very turquoise when I swatch it. Let me kind of see it from the side here. It's kind of similar to the shade that I swatched up here, but this one is a little bit more of a, I wouldn't say drier formula. It's not as sparkly. It's more just kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit drier. I guess it is a little bit drier. It's not as intense as this one. Still, again, very, very pretty shadow. These two are quite similar in formula, I would say. Next up, we have the shade called Euphoria, which I love that name. That is really pretty. This is a much more of a cool tone lavender. Yeah, that's definitely a lavender. That's very pretty. It's like a lavender to pink when I look at it from the side here. Like, you really have to like look at it from different angles to be able to see exactly what is going on in these, because they are multi-chromes, which is why, you know, again, they are quite expensive, because shadows with multiple shifts in them usually cost a little bit more because they just cost more to make. So the next shadow here is the one called Saturn's Rings. Ooh, that is very intense. That is more like the second one that I swatched. Let's see if I'm right about that when I swatch it out. Yeah, definitely. This is very, very intense and metallic. I love that. That is so pretty. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of this one and the shifts, but the formula is quite different in that this one is way more glittery and this one is way more metallic, but color-wise, they definitely look similar. And I'm looking at my finger now and I can see a very strong kind of pink to green shift, which is quite common in multi-chromes, but again, these have a clear base to them, so they don't look the same as something that would have like a black base to them, but the shift itself is like a pretty common shift. Next up is one of my favorites. This one is in the shade Ice Giant. Look at that. That is so pretty. This is just exciting for me to like swatch these out every time, because like I said, they all look the same in the pan pretty much, unless you look at them from different angles. But this one is a blue to pink, I would say. I think that's a pretty good explanation. Super, super unique. Again, beautiful face highlighter if you're into that kind of thing. And I think that that is a good way to be using these, like multi-purpose these, just because of how expensive they are. It's nice to be able to maybe use them a little bit more often if you use them on both of your face and your eyes. And that way, there's definitely a chance that you're going to be able to get through them a lot easier too, because I know for myself, I'm never going to get through these. So the only way that I'll ever be able to hit pan on anything, like especially eyeshadows, is if I use them on my face as well. Next up, we have the shade here called Eon. And this is more of a green to yellow, if I'm correct. Let's go ahead and swatch this out. That is beautiful as well. Not quite as metallic as this one right here. It's a little bit drier than this one, but the shift looks quite similar. I would say that they look very, very similar. Like almost a little bit too similar. You definitely don't need both of those, but they are, you know, still obviously very pretty, both of them. Next shade is called Lunar Spectrum, which is a silver to green to pink or something like that. Let's go ahead and give that a swatch. That is beautiful as well. I really hope that you guys are able to like see what I see, but you'll probably be able to see it a little bit better in the close-up swatches, because right now they all look quite fair, and when I look at them here, they look so much more just yummy. It's hard to really explain, but when I look in the monitor, it's not doing them justice at all, which is really, really sad. Next up, we have the shade here called Solar Flare. They all just like feel really, really nice. Some of them are a little drier than others, but they just feel like really nice eyeshadows, which I mean, Terra Moon shadows are really beautiful in general. I love the quality of them. So let's see, how would I explain this? The best way I feel like to see like the shifts is when I look at my finger. So this is still just so hard to explain. But I'm definitely seeing like a red shift. It's like a red to green, I would say. Is that a good way to explain that? Red to green shift? Something like that. And we have the last shadow here, which is my absolute favorite in the whole collection. This one is called Red Giant, and you can probably guessed it. This one has a very, very strong kind of reddish pinkish shift to it, and it's just so beautiful. Such a pretty shadow. I love this. This makes for the most beautiful face highlighter, and I've done that so many times. It is so pretty. Oh, I will show you some better swatches now so that you can really see like the shifts in all of these, but I would highly recommend, honestly, this whole bundle of like, if you think that this is something that you have been looking for in your collection, I think that you would love having these. Like I said in the beginning, you probably don't need all of them because some of them are quite similar. So I would say maybe pick out the ones that you feel like you would use the most, maybe the ones that would be the most versatile as face highlighters for you. Maybe pick those to start off, and then you can branch out a little bit more like once you've played with them, and maybe wait for a sale and, buy a couple more. Or if you just want to splurge, buy the whole bundle, I mean, go for it because you do get a pretty good discount. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this little swatch party video. This was so fun. I hope that you guys enjoy these. I know they don't usually get a lot of views, which is why I don't really do them very often, but I hope that at least you guys find it helpful. And these are just such beautiful shadows that I really wanted to, make a video on them because they really deserve it. They are so beautiful. Let me know if you have any of these. Let me know if you've tried Terra because they are an amazing brand and I absolutely love them. And I would highly recommend them if you haven't checked them out already. I will, of course, have a link down in my description box if you want to go check it out. I don't remember if I have a code with Terra. If I do, I will leave it down in my description box as well. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some other swatch party videos that I have, I will put my playlist up on the screen. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.